Close enough to 4:30. We can go ahead and begin. I'd like to welcome everybody out to our Board of Commissioners meeting on this 2nd of February 2022. If you'll all please stand and repeat the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's 2/22 today.
Yeah.
Nice.
Must be a special day, 2/2/22. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll start with the agenda. Item number 1 on the agenda is approval of minutes. Commissioners, we have one set of minutes from the January 19th meeting. Do we have any corrections or comments?
I didn't see any corrections or changes.
I have none either. I'll make the motion that we approve the meeting minutes from January 19th, 2022.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda is Employee of the Month. Commissioners, the Employee of the Month is not going to be able to make it tonight, so we're going to ask to table this, if that's okay.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we table Employee of the Month.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is tabled. We'll bring it back middle of the month. Sounds good. Item number 3 on the agenda is Castle Country Junior Livestock Show. Daniel Thatcher. I think there's several people that are coming to speak to that. As you come to the mic, please state your name and then go ahead and address us. So we can get your names on the record. Your full names, please. I invited a bunch of these young people to, if they wanted to come sit up here and take our places, but nobody took me up on it.
My name is Jackson Thane. We are here representing the Castle Country Livestock Show. As a reminder, this is a jackpot show for Carbon and Emery kids. We are not sanctioned with 4-H or FFA and not funded by any other source than our sponsors.
My name is Riley Westover. Our first show was in 2021. It was a huge success with 80 local youth participating. Those 80 kids brought with them 175 animals to be shown all Carbon and Emery counties. We are currently looking for sponsors for our 2022 show.
My name is Hayden Thane. This year for the jackpot, we're going to add a PV show for 6 to 8-year-olds. By adding this PV show, it gives the younger kids an opportunity to show and to gain experience at a younger age. And there's always younger siblings running around, and they're usually right there with their older siblings practicing and learning and working hard years. And now they're going to have a chance to compete at the jackpot as well.
My name is Jason Thane. Last year, the show gave away shirts and hats to everyone that participated. They are hoping to be able to do something like that again this year. The committee also makes sure they get a judge from out of state so that the judge doesn't know any of the kids that are going to be showing. Thanks to our sponsors at our first show in 2021, we were able to provide 49 trophy buckles to the contestants to compete for.
Hi, my name is Dean Westover. Many of the contestants were able to win their very first buckle this show, which is very exciting. We would like to be able to provide that same opportunity for the contestants this year, as well as add 9 more buckles for the Pee Wee show.
My name is Walker Hyatt. We do accept the cost of putting on the show to increase a bit this year because of adding the Pee Wee show, and because the cost of everything has increased so much, we appreciate any amount that you are able to donate for our show this year. We would love it if you could donate the same amount that you did last year, but are very thankful for anything you were able to provide to help make this show possible.
Okay, so I have a stock show saying about all these stock shows maybe lighten the mood just a little bit. It says, stock show is a way of life. You either hate it or you eat, sleep, and breathe it. It's not for the faint of heart, it's not for the lazy, and it's not for everyone. More life lessons are learned in a show barn than probably anywhere else. Compassion, work ethic, sportsmanship, gratitude, heartache, and there will always be highs and there will always be lows. Ride the waves and enjoy it, because 9 years goes by faster than you can ever imagine, and you can't get that time back. And I don't know, I really like that saying, and it's very true. We learn so much from the stock shows. And do you guys have any questions?
Well, first of all, I just want to commend you for coming here and speaking to this. It takes a lot of bravery and a lot of nerves to be able to come and speak and present yourselves in the classy manner that you did. So thank you for that. Do you guys have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
No, I know there was a meeting that took place out at the fairgrounds. We talked about what facility was needed, kind of a little bit of minimal setup.
Yes, sir.
To hold the number of animals and livestock there to come out. So it sounds like it's a doable thing for us, and we'd like to extend to you guys too that we won't charge for that facility rental as well. So
Yes, sir. Okay.
we hope this is a successful event for you guys and girls, and hopefully you guys learn a lot. And as I understand it, is this kind of a stepping stone as well for other events you guys will be going to?
Yes, sir, it is.
So where would you go from, it would be kids from Carbon and Emory coming into this area, and then where would you go after?
Well, after the jackpot, we all hit everybody that goes to the jackpot always goes to the fair and stock show after the week, 2 weeks after that. And so the jackpot is like a practice show for all of us Carbon and Emory kids, and it gives us a chance to get a little bit of extra practice in and friendly competition to go to the fair and show and compete with everybody from around the state of Utah.
Very nice. Very cool. So.
Seth, do you remember what we donated last year?
I could guess, but I don't know for sure. I thought it was around 1,500. Oh, was it? Okay, I was way off.
I think it was 3,500 last year, is what Carbon County did.
Okay.
My only question would be on our end is just, I think we gave you guys more money than we donated to the Fair and Stock Show. And my thought is we need to kind of look at that and make sure we don't, we need to balance that a little bit. And we may even have some ability with the Fair and Stock Show to ensure that our donation goes directly to Carbon County residents rather than to those from out of the area. So I would like a little time to try to
Yes, sir.
work through both of these and balance that, make sure that we can do, you can do this one as well as participate down there, and
Yeah.
Okay.
that'd be my thought.
Yeah, I think we're all in favor of doing this. Let us just look at the financial side of it.
Okay.
And
Yes, sir.
we'll get back with you if that's all right.
Yes, sir. It sounds good.
Do you have a contact point that you want us to
Is it Daniel?
get a hold of?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got
Yeah.
that? Okay, perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you,
guys.
Appreciate it. And great job. Item number 4 on the agenda is consideration and possible approval of a donation to East Carbon Community Days. I'm not sure who has that. This was a request from the mayor. Do you guys have any thoughts, or?
I think we should try to help them out with their activity out there. It's a big event for East Carbon. I would be in favor of helping a little bit.
And I agree. I think we should. It brings in a lot of folks, and it's a good festival, a celebration for East Carbon City. So I guess it's just a matter of which level of sponsorship.
Right.
We'll ask the $60,000 question, Seth. You know,
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a guess. We donate to a lot of these things, so I don't know the exact amount, but I'm pretty certain we were a gold sponsor last year. So, and I think it was towards the top end of that.
Okay.
I'd make the motion that we approve a $1,000 donation to the East Carbon Community Days event.
We have a motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all approved? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 5 on the agenda is open sealed bids for the concrete overflow transfer station. Daniel, if you can come to the mic and just explain this a little bit before we open the bids, explain why we're looking at doing this project.
So at our Carbon County landfill, the regulations that we operate under are set by the state of Utah and by the Division of Solid Waste Management. And so there are certain materials, waste that we're able to receive and others that we're not able to receive and dispose of there. Our landfill is classified in such a way that we cannot receive and dispose of household waste. The garbage that we put in our bins at home and is picked up the roadside is shipped to East Carbon, to that dump site there. But a service that the county offers to the residents of Carbon County is to take household waste to the Carbon County landfill, where it's handled for the same fee that the other waste that's disposed of there. That is then put in dumpsters and sent to the East Carbon dump site. And so the structure that is proposed for being built is to handle that household waste that comes to the landfill. Right now, those dumpsters are being filled every day and they're being hauled to East Carbon nearly every day. On the weekends, the transfer trucks don't run, and by the end of the day on Saturday, we're usually overflowing. And so this will be an overflow structure to facilitate that. We also will have the ability to receive some of the larger loads that come in, as well as large furniture that's hard to handle. We don't want the residents of the county to have to try and take that from the bed of a pickup or from a trailer and towards that fall hazard into those bins. We'll put it in this overflow station and then load it with a machine into the dumpsters. So it's a very important part of the development of the landfill. Our Carbon County landfill, if managed correctly, is slated to serve us at that location until the year 2080. And that was forecast with growth every year. We're seeing that growth in the amount of waste that we receive there. And so this is just one of the next steps in the development of and the proper management of the landfill.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Commissioners, if I could, I know I work for BODEC, and BODEC has submitted a bid for this project, so I'm going to recuse myself from this.
Thank you, Commissioner. Seth, it's up to you.
Okay, we have 3 bids. The first one's from Newman Contractors. It says the proposal amount is $24,250. This is from Wall Contractors. The bid amount is $23,500. And the last one is from Los Aviles LLC. Hopefully I said that right. And it's for $25,700.
So that's all of them.
That was it.
So we didn't get one from BODEC.
They were a plan holder,
Okay.
so.
I don't have any questions.
I don't either. It looks as if the apparent low bidder is Wall Contractors. Is that correct? I think the proper way to handle this would be to turn it over to Daniel and probably Curtis for review and make sure that all of the bid is tabulated correctly and then award. Do you agree?
I would agree, yeah.
Okay.
I'll make the motion then that we acknowledge the receipt of 3 bids. Wall Contractors is the apparent low bid. And that we turn these bids over to Daniel, Luke, and Curtis Page for review and award of the bid.
I'll step down and second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And noting that Commissioner Martinez abstained for conflicts. Item number 6 on the agenda is a public hearing for input regarding the mental health and substance use disorder treatment needs in Carbon County. Melissa Huntington, Executive Director.
Yep, breaking your stuff here. So I'm Melissa Huntington. I'm the Executive Director for Four Corners. I've been with Four Corners for 20 years, so I've grown to love that organization quite dearly. And so every year we come to the public hearing once a year in every county that we serve, which is Carbon, Emery, and Grand County, for the purposes of presenting an opportunity for the public to make comments about our services that we provide to the communities. This is a part of the Medicaid contract we hold so that Medicaid enrollees can have an opportunity to speak publicly about any kind of services that they've received. And also it's part of our interlocal agreement that Four Corners has in Carbon, Emery, and Grand counties. I did Grand counties last night, so I'm doing Carbon County today and Emery County next week. So we would love to hear any feedback or comments or hopefully compliments from the public. But just for anyone who doesn't know, I'll just give you a few, some information about a few services that we provide. So interestingly, 2022 is the year we'll be celebrating 50 years in business. So we've been serving the counties and the citizens of these counties for 50 years at Four Corners. So it's a really big accomplishment for us. We provide mental health and substance use services to the citizens of these counties, including psychiatric services, so medication management, and our Opioid treatment center, our OTP, Operation Recovery, serves a lot of community members who have substance use disorder issues and has saved a lot of lives. We provide crisis services through MCOT, which is Mobile Crisis Outreach, and we provide services to youth and adults, older adults in nursing homes and within the community. We provide clubhouse services for folks who have serious mental illness and need a day treatment place to stay, as well as housing for those folks and for individuals who have substance use issues that need safe housing. We provide mobile response for youth and families who need intervention and assistance and help. And fingers crossed, we're hoping that we will get funding for a receiving center in our counties this year with the legislation. So that is kind of in a nutshell. We do a lot more, but that's kind of a brief summary of what we do. So do you guys have any questions for me before I sit down? I have to have you sign this form every year, so.
I don't have any questions.
Yep, no questions. I think
I don't have questions, but compliments. Appreciate the services that are provided, not only to our county, but neighboring counties as well. And it's, I'm sure, daunting at times and quite a lot going on. So thank you for the.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm super proud of my staff. They're a dedicated bunch of people who, a lot of them have dedicated their careers to this work, and it's very commendable because it is hard work. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Can I approach to give
Yep.
Larry this? Oops, Commissioner Jensen, sorry. And how you sign that?
Thank you.
Okay, and at this point, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing for those who would like to address this. Those that come to the mic, please state your name for the record, and we'll open this public hearing at 4:50.
My name's Rusty Ambrose. I'm a drug court participant, so I deal with these guys 5-6 times a week, sometimes more. For me, it's been a game changer. They helped me first with my Vivitrol shot, which is super expensive. It's ridiculously priced, and they were able, with funding, to help me receive that treatment, which helped get me through that first 90-day curveball, which for me was the hardest. I've been an addict off and on for 20 years, easy. And with Four Corners' help, I've been able to address that issue and then other issues too. You know, just trauma that I've been through in my life, and not just trauma, coping skills, stuff that I took for granted when I was an active addict. And then on top of that, the personal growth that comes from the one-on-one interaction that I get with all these individuals. I see 3 or 4 different therapists, just kind of like doctor shopping, I guess you could say. You know, everyone's got a different personality, so everyone's got a different point of view, and every single one of them's been an asset to me, and not just in my recovery, in my home life, my work life. I've found a career. Since dealing with these people, my life has just done a 180-degree turn. I think it'd be well worth it to help them out, you know, because I know that when it comes to recovery, it's kind of one of them things where it's what you get, you know, what you put into it's what you get. But every single one of these individuals has helped me want that. You know what I mean? Like it's not an easy thing. I struggle every day. Some days are good days, some days are good days. But these guys are always there for that positive reinforcement. And not only that positive reinforcement, but just to help me understand what I'm going through. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't know what I'm going through. And all these guys help me address that. And yeah, I mean, I can't say, I don't have anything bad to say about them. Every single one of them has been a blessing to me. And like I said, I get to interact with all of them. And I've never, so far, it's been nothing but good. I don't know, you guys really don't know my future, but if you guys would see, I mean, I'm sure Jeff could explain to you, like, hey, how far I've come with their help. You guys would be amazed. Like it's been a blessing dealing with these folks. It really has. And I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that.
Congratulations on the progress.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Hi. I am Tawny Manzanares. I was a participant in drug court a few years ago. I've graduated successfully. Four Corners helped me to overcome the things in my past that was making me struggle, and I was able to go back to school. I'm in the Bachelor of Social Work program now, and so I intern at Four Corners, which has been really awesome. And yeah, I've been clean for over 5 years now, and it's all thanks to Four Corners and the staff there.
That's awesome. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Hi, I'm Dana Taylor. I have mental illness, and I go to Four Corners. I go to Four Corners for counseling. I have a therapist, I have a psychiatrist, and I also go to the clubhouse. 10 years ago, I tried to kill myself, and I did not succeed, thankfully, because I wouldn't have met any of my grandchildren. I watched my daughter get married, seen my son get clean, got 32 months now. I mean, I would have missed all of that if it was not for Four Corners. I now have a very good support system. I was feeling kind of down just a little bit ago, you know, and I had places to turn to. Go to the club, and I talked to my case manager and worked out a program so that I could come in 3 times a week and make that commitment. And it's also on me, because once I make that commitment with my case manager, I have to do my part. I think that's one of the most important things for people to understand, is that people who have mental illness, we are not incapable of helping ourselves, but we sometimes need help to help ourselves and to follow in a healthy pattern of life. I now understand what medications I need to take and when I need to take them and how important they are, so I make sure I don't run out. Four Corners has been a lifesaver, tremendously a lifesaver. So is the clubhouse. The clubhouse, when you deal with mental illness on an all the time basis, every day, in and out, you sometimes feel like you don't belong anywhere. And the clubhouse lets us feel included. And we work on a workday basis. So we don't go to the clubhouse and people take care of us. No, we go to the clubhouse and we help cook a meal that we have, and then we help clean up everything. That's our clubhouse. So I'm grateful that we have the staff that we have, but it's our clubhouse. So we need to clean it and take care of it and be responsible. And it's one of the most normalizing things you can ever think of, because I worked for many, many years, and when I became disabled enough that I could no longer work, I felt so lost. And when I go to the clubhouse, I feel like I'm important again. I'm important to the running of the clubhouse. I'm important to keeping it clean. I'm important to my friends, and they are important to me. So I would hope that you would just continue to help with Four Corners, the clubhouse, all of it, because it has definitely saved my life, literally and figuratively. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Addie Clark. I also go to the clubhouse. Last week I had a nervous breakdown at the clubhouse. I thought everybody was monsters. And I was pulling my hair out and hit myself in the head and stuff. And they took me to the family clinic to get new meds, and my doctor wasn't in, so I had to see a new doctor. Now I'm finally on new meds, and I don't hear my voices anymore. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia last year at the hospital. They were going to put me in the psych ward, and we got down to where I didn't have to go to the psych ward last week. They took me to the hospital. They didn't have beds or nothing. It got really bad where the voices were so bad that I tried to commit suicide a lot in my life and stuff. In the clubhouse in Four Corners, I've been with them for 20 years since I was little. Four Corners helped me out a lot with my suicide attentions. I've seen a lot of therapists. I'm finally with one therapist that's actually sitting down with me. We have goals that if I go 1 month without harming myself, she's taking me out to lunch. That's my goal. She takes me out to lunch. So I'm trying to get to that goal. I haven't made it yet, but I'm trying to. That's our goal, that she takes me out to lunch. So I'm trying to get to it, but my demons, we finally got me on my meds that we don't have, my monsters are not there no more, and it's been a week almost, or my voices. So thanks to Four Corners, they finally found me a med, and it's been a week. They've been there when I was in jail and through my mom's death. They've been there through a lot, and thank you, Four Corners. So can you please help us help them? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Cody Madsen. I am also a member of Four Corners Behavioral Help's New Heights Clubhouse. I go to the New Heights Clubhouse to get help for my post-traumatic stress disorder. And about a year ago, I would not be doing this. I wouldn't be up here talking to you guys. These guys have made a great impact in my life. And they've really helped me. My therapist will help me talk through my problems. I've worked out coping skills and other things which I can use to keep from getting too nervous and that with my PTSD, where I might end up having a flashback or something. And I've been able to go without having a flashback for about a year and a half now. The clubhouse really helps with getting us out into the public. We go, like, how we have our clubhouse, one thing I really like about it is that anything that's going to be affecting the members and that directly as a decision, it's not made just by the staff. The members also get to help with that. We have a weekly house meeting every Wednesday, so we'll talk about issues in that, in what's going on with our clubhouse and how we can keep it orderly in that. And one of my fellow members have already mentioned our work order day, and we plan out things like our activities. We go shopping for the clubhouse at Costco a couple times a year, and they have other activities. Like last fall, we went to Lagoon in the zoo, which was really cool to get out in the public and meet people and actually have a fun time. So that was really interesting, and I thank you guys for keeping Clubhouse open and operating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cody.
Last call, if anybody else would like to speak.
Maybe I could say something. I'm the luckiest of the three of us because I get to sit on the Four Corners Board of Directors. And so we have folks from all three counties that sit on that board, and it's been one of the treats of this job to attend those board meetings and rub shoulders with the staff and those who help take care of folks in the community. And there's a sweet spirit about the work you do. And all of those who work at Four Corners carry that with them. And I think you're a hidden part of our community that few understand and few appreciate what you do to help stabilize folks in our community. And we've heard now from several who have success in their lives, and it's a real blessing to our community to have all of your staff there available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help these people when they're in need. So I just personally want to say thanks to the staff, and to you who go to Four Corners for help. You're lucky to have the help you get. And as a commission, we're committed to making sure that it works financially, and you've got our commitment. So thank you.
Anything?
No, I can't top what Larry said. I just agree with everything he said. It's just a blessing to have the support here for everybody that needs it, and it really helps our community. So thank you.
Jose?
Hi, my name is Jose Garuli. I agree with everybody up there that Four Corners is something that's needed, and they do good work, and it is hard work. I do have an issue with some of their policies. One is we can't get them to release Medicaid on people that want to go into inpatient rehab that is not here. Last time we came to this meeting, they said that they would work with us, and they haven't. Out of the 5 people that we've actually got funding and found funding to send to rehab, 4 of them have stayed and have been huge successes. At least for us, for them, we've only had one that left the rehab, and actually he didn't even make it into the detox center. He left before he even made it in, so that one, we're not really even, well, it is what it is, but we need to be able to get addicts help when they're asking for it. It's the best time for them to accept it, is when they want it, not when you guys tell them that they can get it. That's my problem with Four Corners, and we're all trying for the same thing, and that's to get people help. We'd like a little bit of help from you guys in getting people there. That's all that I'm asking. Thanks.
Thanks, Jose.
Thanks, Jose. Mm-hmm.
Seeing no one else coming to the mic, go ahead and close this public hearing at 5:06. I do want to talk just a little bit. I know this issue was brought up last time, and I have spoken with Four Corners, and a lot of this is bound by state law. And there are ways to work with people, and I appreciate your helping those that you can find funding, Jose. That's really important. So thank you for the work you're doing as well. But I want to thank Four Corners. They're bound within a certain parameter of law, and they have to operate within that. And I appreciate the work that they do, and all of you. It takes a broad support group to help people that have addiction of any kind or mental illness of any kind. It takes more than just Four Corners. It takes other support groups and other people to help them along the path. So thank you for all of you, and thank you for your comments. This is a vital part of making what Four Corners does better. Whether they're comments for or against them, it's critical that we hear both sides of that story, so that we can, if it's always positive, then we don't think that there's things that can change. So thank you for all of your comments today. I don't think we have anything else on this. There's no motion or anything that needs to happen, so thank you for your public comments. Item number 7, consideration of possible approval of a local government sales tax data request. Commissioners, this is a request to release our sales tax leakage. I believe it was the Bear Group that has asked, and they have to get permission from the county to be able to release that data. Do you have any questions or concerns with this?
No questions.
I don't either. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve give approval for the local government sales tax data request.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I guess just a quick explanation. That data could be used then to find out what sales are going over the mountain and what opportunities there are for businesses here locally to start a business to keep some more of that sales tax here. That's why this request is going out. Item number 8, ratification of the EWP Project 5135, Utah, Carbon County, DSR. So the DSR is a disaster survey report. This was for the Bear Fire this year. Disaster survey report 49-03-21-15 5135-001, Bear Fire Grade Stabilization, Sediment Basins, Stream Bank Protection. Commissioner Jensen, do you want to talk a little bit about this? You've been involved.
Sure. So last summer we had the fire at Price Canyon that was named the Bear Fire. After the fire was put out, the vegetation has all been burned. The trees are scarred pretty bad, and the soil on the mountain is exposed to any rainfall. And when we get a rain event, those soils erode and wash away pretty quickly. And the federal government with the NRCS comes in at the request of the county and does an analysis of the area to try to determine what could be done to help hold the erosion back and debris that might flow into the channels as they come down into the valley. So that report was done. Our county engineer took part in that event as well, and they've come up with a series of things that the NRCS would recommend doing to hold the sediments back. And so this survey identifies a dollar amount that could be approved from the NRCS to do this work, and the funds that have been allocated are $3,033,525. Now, of that money, that's what the construction costs would be, but then there's an additional money that's added onto that of what the county would have to contribute of 20% on top of that in order to get this funding. And so the contract has already been signed. There's a clock that starts when the NRCS approves this, and they don't give us time to respond, and everything has to be built and completed within a time frame. So because of the clock starting as soon as we received this document, we went ahead and had Commissioner Hope sign that as our chairman, and it was turned back to the NRCS. So tonight it's more of a ratification of that contract that we've sent off. Now, we may or may not do a project if it's not in the best interest of our citizens here in the valley to go spend this money. We don't have to use it, and it can all be sent back, but there is a cost associated on our end of matching the funds that we get from the federal government. So we're weighing that currently, and if a project is to move forward, we would hire an engineering firm that would draw up plans and specifications for debris basins and structures up the canyons that would hold that sediment back. And then a contract would have to be put out to bid for the actual construction of that. But we only have 180 days, I believe it is, to complete from start to finish. So it's a fast-paced project.
And if I could too, just for point of clarification, this money that's coming in potentially could be used for projects that we see fit, but those are limited projects that go to the Bear Fire. This money could not be utilized as we would like on anything. It is earmarked and specified for this specific project. And if we didn't use it for that specific project, we would have to pay 100% of whatever work was done.
That's correct. Yeah, so there's been work by the county right now during this last year. There were 2 storm events that flooded in Spring Canyon. The county sent their road crews up to move debris and to open the road back up because it was blocked and unpassable. Those dollars that we've already spent cannot be used on this. It has to be new construction of basins that would help in the future.
Okay. These, just for the public's information, these projects have been done in the past. These EWP projects have been done in the past. When we had all the flooding in Wellington, we used EWP funding for that. The flooding up in Westwood was, and also up in Helper, we did some EWP projects there. So this is not uncommon for us to do this. We just have to see if we have the partners, because there's other entities that are impacted, and we're not sure if they want to participate. If they don't participate, we may not do the project.
Yeah, so in the case of the Crandall Canyon area, the damage and impact is to Highway 6, which is owned by the Utah Department of Transportation. So we're viewing that area as an area where the county dollars should really not be spent up there, because it does not impact our citizens. So if UDOT agrees to pay for the 20% match up there, we may move forward with some things there. There's also areas in Spring Canyon that were identified by the NRCS that could have some basins built, and there's an option in there for us to do a little bit of work and use part of that money that would benefit the citizens of the county. You have a question?
Yes, hi, David John, I'm a county resident.
Can you please come to the mic just so we can make sure we get this on the recording, please?
Sure. Thank you. My name is David Jellin. I'm a county resident. The one question I have is, with all these work projects, they're understood to keep travel safe and debris and everything else. Is there any, and what I have not heard, any linkage to potable water? So whether it's the Price River or anything else having to do with sediment in the drinking water. I've got sinks that are turning red, and I don't know, Plywood couldn't answer it, and the plumber couldn't answer it, and I know it's never been compromised from the street to me. So I've heard from other neighbors and throughout the county that they've had some sediment issues too, but I don't know if the runoff from Bear is direct, and it should probably not affect the water. But we also have that issue with the Price River, so I just didn't know if that's a tie-in, whether it's funding or expenditures for county residents.
It is, so maybe I can help a little there. The Price River Water Improvement District has a water treatment plant up in the canyon, and we've connected with them trying to see if what the impact is to them, and they've determined that they have the ability to close their inlet in the event of a flood. And so that's the plan on their end, is just to make sure they've got theirs shut off. Now, the first storm that came down, I think they didn't get it shut off in time, and there was some sediment that came into their system. But moving forward, they've determined that they probably are not in need of a bunch of debris basins to be built. The challenge for the county is that it's one thing to build the basins, but then every storm event brings sediment in and fills those basins up, and then we would have to go and clean them out.
Yep.
And the cost to doing that would be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions over
Versus not doing
time.
it in the first place, then what's the cost benefit to consumable water?
Yeah, so we don't think there's a danger to our drinking water if we don't do anything up in Crandall Canyon. So we've looked pretty close at that.
I just didn't hear potable water being discussed, mentioned, or otherwise, and I can't find anything with the other reports, so I was just looking.
Appreciate you asking, because that's an important part of
It's an
this.
aspect that needs to be at least addressed to say there is no risk to it.
Yeah, now Price City also has a treatment facility up there, and I think they're in the same mode of just watching the storms, and their crews then would be on site if the river starts to flood with that heavy mud and debris, that they would close their system off for a while. Now, we have the ability to store in our water systems for several days. So if things got shut off for a while, it would be okay. And I think we find that the bad event is fairly short in duration. It's when it's raining, we get the heavy flood, and then a few hours later, it's kind of cleaning up. And over the course of some hours, they're able to open back up.
Yeah. Just a question. Thank you.
Thank you, though. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
If there's no other conversation, I'll make a motion that we approve the EWP Project 5135 for Utah, Carbon County, the DSR 49-03-21-5135-001 for the Bear Fire Grade Stabilization Sediment Basin Stream Bank Protection for 60000-20169.
We have a motion?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 9, consideration of possible approval of an easement agreement on Consumers Railroad bypass between the state of Utah through the School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration, or Sitla, and Carbon County.
You want me to take that one?
Sure.
So, years ago, the county entered into an easement agreement with the Bureau of Land Management for part of our road system as well as the ATV trail system up in the consumers area. And those lands were traded to the state school trust probably 15 years ago. And the agreement that moved from the BLM over to the state lands, who now owns the property, the easement expired, and Sitla recognized that expiration date and wants us to renew those easements with Sitla now under their new ownership. So it's stuff that we already have. It's road system that helps up by the Wildcat loadout for people to be able to drive around a train when it's loading and is actually across the Consumers Road, blocking the road traffic. And so there's a bypass that's been built around it.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have no questions. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve an easement agreement on the Consumer Railroad bypass between the state of Utah through the School and Institutional Trust Lands Administration and Carbon County.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 10, consideration of possible approval of statewide multi-jurisdictional opioid settlement memorandum of understanding. Lynn can help me with this, but this is part of, in the previous meetings, we've talked about settlements with Janssen or Johnson & Johnson, as well as some other distributors. As we've entered into those, the route that this will take is through the state. The state is actually the one making the agreement, and we're agreeing with the state for those settlements. The state will receive the money. They will pass that on to the counties, and this is part of that whole settlement agreement with Janssen & Janssen and the other distributors. Is that?
Yes, this is a settlement agreement that's with Amerisource, Cardinal, McKesson, Janssen, and the pharmaceutical distributors. And what this is an agreement as to how the state of Utah will split the money. So we've previously agreed to participate, and now we have to agree if we want to split it, how they're suggesting that we split it. So under the split that they have proposed here, Carbon County is set to receive, Carbon County and the municipalities that are under Carbon County is set to receive $237,960, with Carbon County itself getting $187,874. But this money would be spread out over 18 years. So
is that, maybe I'm misunderstanding it, because I thought is that per year that
no. I mean, I believe that this is the total amount that will be received under this agreement.
Because I was led to believe that it was more than that.
Well, this is only one of the, it's not the only opioid settlement agreement that's out there. We can double check on it, but when I looked earlier, Carbon County was getting $11.21 per capita, as compared to some of the counties up north were more like $2. So Carbon County is getting more per capita. It's just we don't have very many people. And so the total amount is not high because we just don't have the population, even though we're getting more per capita than other places in the state.
Okay.
But potentially we add the other settlements that we've already talked about in earlier meetings. Those are in addition to this amount of money. Each one of the companies are separate in the lawsuit, and they're all trying to settle.
Yes, so this isn't
separately.
by any means all of the opioid money. This is only the opioid money that's coming through the pharmaceutical distributors. So it's not all of them, it's just this one agreement. And also, the other point is that half of the money goes to the state and half the money is assigned to the counties and the local areas. The half the money that goes to the state, some of that will trickle down to various places, and I would assume some of that will come our way. So it's not the total amount that we'll be getting if we get some of the state money as well.
Yeah, and that was the point I was going to make too, that the percentage that goes to the state will have to go towards opioid mitigation and help. So it can't go to bridges or parks in Salt Lake or anything like that. It'll have to go towards this cause, if you will.
No, all of the money has to go toward the cause, and we have to show that that's where the money is being spent. And there's a lot of reporting requirements that ensure that the money is going where it's supposed to go.
I have no questions. I'll make the motion that we approve the statewide multi-jurisdictional opioid settlement memorandum of understanding.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions or comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now at the end of our agenda. I'll take one more motion.
A motion we adjourn.
We are there. We're adjourned. Thank you. Oh, right on an hour.